Subscribe or you'll be visited by the toll troll. Show me your greatest rags to riches story, legendary men that did anything by any means necessary to get their foot in the door of riches. I used to live with 3 roommates, but then my dad bought me a house when I got my GED. I find reading through old books and mags from the 1800s/early 1900s about various cities will get you the names of a lot of rich people and accomplishments. I think I know more about the rich sections of 1900s Detroit than I do modern Detroit, including old millionaires and what address they lived at, and in some cool cases pics of their places and properties. Those old books and mags are a joy to go through if you have an interest in history and money. Either way, a lot of these jackasses did it by building up from nothing. Can't tell you how many farmers I read about that had fortunes due to buying up tons of land and growing on it. Doctors and investors and people that helped build the cities to what they were, and just all around all types. Hitler went from literally homeless to supreme leader of a country he wasn't even born in. I bought Link at 20 cents. It's probably rolling Desu. She went from being homeless to a billionaire. That's nuts. Probably Jack Ma. Be me. Dating third worlder. Go visit her family. They own a yacht, take fancy yacht trips, eat expensive delicious foods, drink fine whiskeys. They have multiple residences. Get married, mated. Plot twist, they're actually bankrupt. Yacht immediately disappears, turns out the houses weren't even in their name. Have to wage slave my way to a $200K salary. Invest as much as I can, make $500K in crypto. Buy house with my own down payment saved from years of wage cucking, house appreciates. We are now worth $1 million. My wife's rags to riches story. Knee pads, but I prefer to call it silly heads to bitches. Ben Carson. Unironically Jesus token, it just launched last week. Started with a $30K investment and got $120K in no time. I'm currently shorting it. You can find it on Uniswap, plus it's tax-free. The legendary story of how the Rothschilds became so insanely rich is my favorite. The tiny hats will tell you this story is anti-Semitic and a lie, but I'll let you be the judge. B 1815. Be Rothschild tiny hat. Have personal courier service. Find out the British won the Battle of Waterloo from a messenger pigeon. Tells everyone the French won. British stock certificates crash. Nathan Rothschild buys all the stocks up. Say oops. Our boys actually won. British stocks rebound. Now owns entire country. Richard Hart convincing silly heads to send him money because he couldn't get out of his first scam since it had no liquidity. Biz single-handedly created a new billionaire. Well done you heckin' idiots, I told y'all not to sacrifice. Timothy Dexter, a proto-Israeli. At the end of the American Revolutionary War he purchased large amounts of depreciated continental currency that was worthless at the time. At the war's end the US government made good on its notes at 1% of face value while Massachusetts paid its own notes at par. His investment enabled him to amass a considerable profit. He built 2 ships and began an export business to the West Indies and Europe. Because he was largely uneducated, his business sense was considered peculiar. He was advised to send bed warmers, used to heat beds in the cold New England winters, for resale in the West Indies, tropical areas. This advice was a deliberate ploy by rivals to bankrupt him. His ship's captain sold them as ladles to the local molasses industry and made a handsome profit. Next Dexter sent wool mittens to the same place where Asian merchants bought them for export to Siberia. People jokingly told him to ship coal to Newcastle. Fortuitously he did so during a Newcastle miners' strike and his cargo was sold at a premium. On another occasion practical jokers told him he could make money by shipping gloves to the South Sea Islands. His ships arrived there in time to sell the gloves to Portuguese boats on their way to China. He exported Bibles to the East Indies and stray cats to Caribbean islands and again made a profit. Eastern missionaries were in need of the Bibles and the Caribbean welcomed a solution to rat infestation. He also hoarded whale bones by mistake but ended up selling them profitably as corset stays. While subject to ridicule, Dexter's boasting makes it clear that he understood the value of cornering the market on goods that others did not see as valuable and the utility of acting the fool. Last and most based of all, despite his good fortune, his relationship with his family suffered. He frequently told visitors that his wife, who was actually alive, had died, and that the woman frequenting the building was simply her ghost. In one notable episode, Dexter faked his own death to see how people would react, and about 3,000 people attended Dexter's mock wake. When Dexter did not see his wife cry, he revealed the boaks and promptly caned her for not sufficiently mourning his death. It's the year 2023. Some biztards get together and decide to create the ultimate meme coin. It's hilarious and they troll the internet with it launch. They all become millionaires and truly made it.